I've been putting this off, not cleaning this whole mess of my house, but creating business goals for this quarter. And it's not because of laziness, it's because this is going to be one of the most intense quarters of my work life experience. But that's all by choice. Now, I didn't set great goals at the beginning of this year, but I still like round numbers, so we're gonna set them based on the quarter. And Q2 just started April 1st, so let's start talking about what these business goals are gonna be for this quarter and how I set good business goals. And hopefully that gives you tips to set yours, whether you run a business now, want to start a business, or in the process of starting one as we speak. I don't know why that was so dramatic. Is it hard for anybody else to actually do good, deep work if your place look kind of like a war zone? Also, I went to the gym, so it looked a little different. We definitely gotta clean all this crap up. You just gotta have your environment be conducive to the work that you wanna do. And if that work is actually thinking about business goals, it doesn't make a lot of sense to not be able to actually put your elbows on your desk. How do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things to drink out of on my desk? I'm a slob. Wow, I'm so fancy. But it's probably good to set 90-day goals anyways, rather than just having your goals every 30 days or every week, because that actually gives you a large enough sample size worth of time to know whether or not something is actually working and to see patterns in what you're doing. It's also a short enough period of time that you can actually feel what the end would feel like. It's hard to picture what 1 year or 2 years would look like, and so you could set stretch goals to go out that far. But to actually have goals that might be achievable within a 90-day period of time, you'll know what that end result will feel like, whereas it's much harder to realistically feel that with a year or 2 years. So this is what we've got going on in my business, but any of the things that I talk about and any of the goals that I set and ways that I do this will be applicable to you and your business, or maybe even just your personal finances. So this is what we got going on: 3 YouTube channels, 1 reselling business, and a life that I'd very much like to be integrated with and served by all of those ventures. So first we'll just pop over to YouTube and look at the channels. We're gonna start with the ones that basically for this quarter I'm gonna be tossing and not even really worrying about. We have this one called The Story Travelers, which my wife and I are running, and that's gonna be our vlog channel and for our travel. And we have a lot of videos actually filmed for this, just none published. As you can see, it's kind of dead. We've had 20 views in the last 28 days. That's because we haven't really published anything since January 24th. I think my wife's gonna be doing a lot on the Instagram, but we're not gonna be doing anything on this channel. Next, I have a channel called I Suck at Fishing, which helps me to get out on the water and fish, and that channel has actually been growing a little bit. I'm getting many more views, 443 views, 3 subscribers. I'm getting anywhere from 7 to 20 views a day, but that's been going down, as you can see, because I haven't been posting anything. And we're not gonna be worrying about these channels, not because they're not important to me or I don't want to grow them, but because I've learned a lot about running a business and how to put my time towards one venture over this past quarter. I didn't honestly get a lot done on anything. I posted about 4 or 5 videos on both of these channels, and as you will see on my main channel, Smart Money Anthony, which you're watching this video on right now, and thank you for being here. And look at the analytics from the first quarter. 5.7 thousand views, pretty good. 334 hours of watch time, 70 subscribers. That's honestly not bad. But I only did 5 videos, and then I stopped for a month and a half because I was pretty depressed. Then I posted a video about me being depressed. Then I have 7 more videos. So I have 12 videos over a 3-month period. And for somebody who quit their job to do reselling to buy time to build a YouTube channel, that doesn't really sound like it's a smart way to do that by only posting 7 videos in 3 months. So I've decided, since this is the channel where I have the most momentum and where I think I can do the most good by helping people not be done with their money, I'm gonna really focus in on this channel, especially because it's got the most potential to make money soonest, because I have the most momentum behind it. So I'm gonna grab real quick a pad of paper and some pens. And I've set goals in the past and they haven't really done me a lot of good. And that's because normally the goals that I set end up being just things that I want to achieve that are outcome driven, not output driven. And because of that, I've kept saying, hey, I want to grow this many subscribers or get this much amount of watch time. And that doesn't really matter if the output doesn't match it. So I'm honestly not even going to care about the outcome. I'm still going to create stretch goals for that, which is what I call it. But we're going to create mostly our goals about the output. It's pretty appropriate that this whole thing is a mess and a work in progress, because we're literally trying to work and progress in our business and our life right now. So here's the deal. No, here's the real deal. This is a poetic decision to have me out of focus, just like I've been out of focus in my business. It wasn't because the grass got in the way and my autofocus did me wrong. This was a poetic decision. I've created goals in the past, and quite honestly, they've really sucked. And so like I said a second ago, I'm gonna work on my output rather than my outcome this time around. That looks like a good table. And so even though I am creating output-driven goals, I have an outcome in mind, an ultimate stretch goal that I'm wanting to reach. But the way that I'm gonna do that is with all these output-driven goals, because I know that
that's what's going to lead to that outcome success. My goal is by the end of this quarter, I am able to be monetized on YouTube. So that means July 1st, I have more than 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube. And you can help out with that right now by subscribing to the channel if you want to do that. But either way, right now I'm at just about 1,100 hours of watch time and 373 subscribers as I record this video. So because that's my goal for an outcome by the end of the quarter, there needs to be some goals for my output and what I'm actually going to do to achieve those goals. And a lot of people don't call these goals. They call them like, I don't know, steps to success. I don't really know what they call them. I call them goals, so that's what we're going to call them in this video. YouTube has this new thing out called Shorts, and if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been putting out a lot of Shorts ever since April 1st, and that's because that was the start of the quarter. Over the next 45 days at a minimum, so half of a quarter, because that's a pretty good sample size of time, is to put out a video every single day. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, that's going to be a full-length video like the one you're watching now. Every other day is going to be a YouTube Short. But this isn't just to grow the channel. Obviously, that's one outcome, because YouTube is putting a lot of effort behind these Shorts content and potentially promoting them. That hasn't been the case with mine over these first 2 weeks. But my other major goal with this is to build my skills as someone who creates videos on the internet and also who engages an audience like you guys. So by posting a video every single day, that means I have not only 7 at-bats to get in front of more eyeballs, but I also have way more opportunities to learn how to create better videos, edit faster, and deliver content in a way that's actually valuable to you guys. Because my goal is to help as many people as they can not be done with their money. If I'm only reaching out 1 time per week versus 7 times per week, I'm not nearly going to be able to know if what I'm saying is actually making sense. However, after those 45 days, I'm going to reevaluate because I think it's still important to set those milestones even if you're just making goals by the quarter. So at that 45-day number, because this is a pretty hard thing to do and because I haven't been seeing a lot of great results, I'm going to reevaluate to see if I should continue to do that over the next 45 days or up it to making 3 full-length videos per week, because I do tend to get a lot more traffic and eyeballs on these longer videos, and I think that they have more potential to be helpful for you guys, which is ultimately what this is all about. And then the other side of any goal that you want to have is a financial goal. My financial goal with this YouTube channel then is to start making any money the month after the quarter ends. So I don't really need to make any money at all this quarter. Honestly, when I sat down to make this video, I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated than what I just said. I thought I was going to like be sitting here and saying a lot of really profound things, but it really just comes down to know your why with what you want to do. And for me, that's to make sure that we can live in this van, build out a couple different YouTube channels. And to do that, we should probably first have one YouTube channel that's viable. And then beyond that, my why is to start making any money from this time that I'm putting into this YouTube channel. And so from that why, figuring out what's actually going to work to do that. And because I've tried a lot of things before and none of it has really worked. And then if it doesn't end up working in these 90 days, I can reevaluate, assess, and try something new. And that's pretty much how you're going to be creating goals for your business over the long term. So whether it's your time or your money, constantly be reevaluating if you're using it in the best way possible, because those are 2 of the most important assets in your life. So the next part of this is I'm actually going to write a letter to myself that we're going to open up together on July 1st to see what my goals were, whether or not I achieved my goals. So let's write that real quick, and then we'll get on to goals for my reselling business and some other specific tips I have for a business that might actually be making money already.
I think this will be good for me on July 1st to help no matter what happens. Now into reselling, and for your business that's actually making money instead of this business where you put all this time into it and it doesn't make you anything yet. Actually, first, one more quick note on that envelope is I think that that's really good as motivation because I know what that envelope says, and so I know I want to live up to that because I know I'm gonna have to open that, especially because I'm telling you guys that I'm opening it now. So that's just even another helpful external motivator for myself. Even if you don't have anybody else to externally motivate you, you can do that yourself, because it's honestly hard to get accountability from some people because they might not want to force you to do something. But if you give yourself accountability but then tell them about it, they don't actually have to do anything except for say, hey, what does that letter say? And then you have your own external motivation. If that makes any sense, drop a like on this video. If it doesn't, still drop a like on this video. So in my reselling business, which you can see a part of here, for all that crap that I have to ship on eBay, my goal is pretty consistent with what I've been doing for the past 6 months, which is just to buy myself time. Obviously now I'm going to plan to use that time better than I have over the past 6 months, but this is why I say that. You don't have to make just a bunch of money for the sake of making a bunch of money. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you have a reason that you're making money rather than just making money to make money, it's going to be a lot more powerful for your life, and you'll be able to achieve goals that are outside of just your financial goals, like goals with any relationships that you might have or hobbies or skills that you have. If you're killing yourself making as much money as you're making, maybe look at your finances to see if you need to make a little less money in order to survive, or if there's something else that you can do to make that money. You might be much happier doing less or doing something different, and you might be able to find a way with your money to survive. That's exactly what I've been doing, because if you would have asked me a long time ago if I thought that we'd be able to survive on the income we have now, I probably would have said no. But when I actually sat down and thought about not only my goals with our money, but also our goals with how we want to live our lives as people who are adventurous and able to say yes to whatever we want to do and able to host people as we want to do that, I realized that we didn't need to invest as much money as
we had been investing to do that now. But if I was to quit my job and to start something else that would allow us to achieve those goals here in the present, I would also probably make more money down the road and have a higher financial return even then. So think through not only your money, but also your life, because they're not separate. And look, I really enjoy reselling, but it's not what I would choose to do every single day. I love making videos and getting to interact with you guys and potentially helping lots and lots of people to not be done with their money. So rather than trying to make as much as I possibly can from reselling, I try to make as much as I need in order to live while working the least amount of hours as possible. Well, not really hours as much as days. I realize why I don't wear this watch is because I live in Florida and everything is just stupid sweaty around here. Not enjoying what I do is the reason that I left a 50+ hour per week job to make about 20% less money at a bank, and then I left that bank to work for myself, where I'm only working 6 days a week reselling and spending the rest of my time trying to build up this YouTube channel, because that's what I really enjoy doing. So my goal for this quarter, Q2, is to just continue doing what I have been doing with a little twist. I'm gonna still try to only source 2 days every 2 weeks and ship stuff 1 day every 2 weeks. But with that, I'll not only be able to survive and take enough money out of the business to live, but also save a little bit of money every month to put towards the van, which we're actually using now to go to counseling, because that's a little bit more important. But that money also gives us enough to put a little bit of a cushion in our owner pay account as well as our operating accounts, so that we can make sure that we're able to do this for a long time. These are output-based goals, not outcome-based goals. I know what the outcome is going to be if I do this much output of going and buying these things and selling it. So I'm not too worried about the outcome, because I know that that's naturally going to be the outpouring of what I do. So every 2 weeks, I try to spend $1,500 at a 100% return on investment, and that is what has allowed me to continue to live. But the twist that I have for this quarter is by the end of the quarter, I am going to try to bump that up to $2,000 every 2 weeks, which means I should be able to start making a little more money that we're able to save or use towards the van. Honestly, whatever your goals are, do output-based goals rather than outcome-based goals, because I can control the output. I can't control the outcome for the most part. But I know if I do this much output, this is more than likely what the outcome is going to be, and oftentimes it's even better because you build better habits and find more efficient ways of doing your output side of things. If you want to get into reselling, watch this playlist where I have a bunch of my reselling videos there. Otherwise, to be smarter with your money, watch this playlist right down here that'll help you to get out of debt, save money, and start investing. And if you want to be a part of making these goals possible, definitely subscribe to the channel for more help to not be done with your money, and like the video because that'll help it to get to more people. Thank you guys so much. Stay smart.